This is the Roulette Master, and have you ever played a roulette system where you felt like you couldn't lose your bankroll? Well, one of my subscribers, Todd Hoover, says he has finally created a system where he hasn't even come close to losing his bankroll, and this is exciting. This is the New Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover, and today we're going to test his incredible system against one I call Around the World in 2, and let's go ahead and get started with that first. And here we go. Once this spins here, we're going to start with a $10 bet on 1 to 18. So you'll see why I call it that here in a second. We're on 1 to 18 for 10, and let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. All right, that is a win, 11 black. Okay, so when we win on this one, we're going to stay on 1 to 18 for $10. So let's go ahead and spin again here. And when we lose, we're going to be moving the bets around here. That's a 28 black, and we lost. So now we are going to go from 10 to 30, and we're going to be on even. So let's go ahead and move to even, and here we go. That's an 18 red, so that's a win. Okay, so we're going to stay on even, but we're going to go back to $10. So we're up 30. Let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 17 black, and that's a loss. So we're going to go from 10 to 30, and we're going to go to red. So now we're on red for 30, and here we go. That's a 19 red. That's a win. Okay, so we got the win there, and we're up $50. So we're going to go back to 10, and we'll still be on red. So we're going to stay right there where we're winning, and let's go ahead and spin. That's an 11 black, and we lost. So we're going to go from 10 to 30 and move to black and spin. So when we lose, we're going to move left to right. When we win, we're going to stay the same, and that's a 1 red. Okay, we lost. We're going to go from 30 to 50 now and go to odd. So let's go ahead and do that. And we lost. That's a 00. So we're going to move to the right again, and we're going to go from 50 to 70. We are currently at minus 40, and let's go ahead and spin. We lost again. That's a 6 black. Okay, so we're going to go to a $90 bet, and we're going to be on 1 to 18. So we're going around the world here, and when we lose, when we win, we're going to stay the same, and we lost again. That's a 28 black. So now we're going to go from 90 to 110. And we are currently minus $200, but it's early. Let's bring it back and make some money. Here we go. That's a 34 red. Finally got a win there. So we're going to keep the bet the same at 110. And that was actually on even, so we'll just rebet. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 7 red. We lost, so we're going to go to 130, and we're going to be on red for $130 here. Let's get it going here. Come on. And we lost again. That's a 15 black. So we're going to go to 150 now on black. Hasn't started out the best, but that's okay. It's early. Let's get back on track and make some money here. And that's a 2 black. Okay, we won, so we're going to stay on black for $150. So we're just going to rebet and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 10 black. Fantastic. We're not in session profit, so we're just going to rebet and spin with the exact same bet again. And we got it. Fantastic. So now we're in session profit. In fact, we're up $120. So we're going to go back to $10 on black, and we're going to stay on black until it loses. And we won. That's a 6 black. Fantastic. So we are currently up $130. And that was a nice turnaround, nice recovery, and let's make some money now. That's a 14 red. We lost, so we're going to go 10 to 30. And obviously it helps if you win early, because obviously going 10 to 30 is a lot better than going 70 to 90. So that's a 0 there, and we lost. So we'll go 30 to 50, and we'll have a $50 bet. We need a high number here. And we got it. That's a 25 red. Fantastic. So we are up $140. We can go back to 10. And we're on, I'm sorry, we should have stayed on 19 to 36 there, though. We don't move the bet when we win. But we got lucky there, so so we'll take it. We'll just stay on 1 to 18 there. And we're up $150. So here we go. That's a 30 red. We lost. So we're going to go 10 to 30 and go to even. And here we go. Let's see if we can get an even number. We did not. That's a 27 red. That's a loss. So we're going to go to $50 on red this time, and we're going to move the bet. And we got the win, 16 red. So we got a little trend going on here. That's a $50 win. We're up $160. So we're just going to stay on red and rebet for $50. See if this continues. See if we can get in session profit there, and that's a win. Fantastic. So we go back to 10 and we stay on red. We're up $210 now, and let's keep it rolling. Here we go. This is around the world in 2, and that is another win. We'll stay on red for 10. We're up $220. All right, here we go. That's a 22 black. That's a loss, so we'll go 10 to 30 and switch it over to black and move left to right. And that's a win. Fantastic. Anytime you win at 30, you know you're winning. So we're going to stay on black for 10. We're up 240, and that's because you're actually tripling the bet on the first spin after the first loss, just on that first one there. So that's always profit when you win early on. And we're up 250. Let's keep it rolling and make some more profit. Here we go. That's a 27 red. We lost, so we'll go to 30 on odd and keep the bets moving when we lose. That's a win. And again, when you win at 30, you know you're in session profit. We'll go back to 10 on odd. We're up $270. And fantastic considering how bad we started on this one today. That's an 8 black. We lost, so we'll go to 30 and move over to 19 to 36. Let's see if we can get a high number. Well, we just missed a high number, but we got a low one there. So we will go from 30 to 50, and now we'll be on 1 to 18. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a loss, 35 black. So we move. We'll go 50 to 70, and let's see where we're at. We're up $180, and we have a $70 bet on even. Okay, that's a 4 black, and we got it. Okay, we're up $250, so let's go back to 10, and we'll stay on even. If you're anywhere close to session profit, you want to restart. So here we go, and that's an 18 red. We won again, so we'll stay on even for 10. We're up $260. And let's keep it rolling. Here we go. That's a loss, 17 black, so we're going to move the bet to red and go to 30. We're going up 2 units when we lose, and we're moving colors when we lose. When we win, we stay the same, and that's a 31 black. We lost, so we'll go to 50 on black and spin. There have been a lot of black numbers recently. But that's a red 27 we lost. So we're going to go 50 to 70. You can see temporarily we dropped down to $170 profit. So here we go. That's an 11 black. We won. That's close enough. Let's go back to 10. We're about $20 away from where we were before, but if it's close with this one, you want to reset. That's an 11 black. You want to be as safe as you can because you're going to make a lot of money anyway. You don't want to risk your bankroll. We're up $250, and let's go ahead and spin. And this is a $2,000 bankroll system, and that's a 20 black. Okay, we lost. You can also play this with a $200 bankroll and dollar units. So we'll go from 10 to 30, and we'll be on 19 to 36. Let's see if we can get a high number here. Okay, that's a 0. That's not a high number. That's about as low as it gets. So we'll go from 30 to 50, and we are currently up $210. And we have a $50 bet on 1 to 18. And we got it on the number, 18 red. Okay, so we're up 260, and we go back to 10. And we're still on 1 to 18. When we win, we keep it on the same bet. When we lose, we move it and go up 2 units. That's a 7 red. That's another win. We'll go 1 to 18 for 10 again. And we're up $270. So far, so good. Started out a little rough, but we recovered, and now we're cruising. That's a 13 black. Okay, that's a win. So we'll stay on 1 to 18 and see how many of those hit it in a row here. That's a 9 red, and we're taking advantage of a nice run on low numbers here with this system. And we're up $290. Let's go ahead and spin again, see if we can get to $300 profit. Okay, that's a 27 red. We lost, so let's go left to right and go from 10 to 30 up 2 units. When we win, we keep it the same. If we lose, we move and go up 2. Nice. Okay, we're up $310, so we'll go back to 10, and we'll be on even for 10, and here we go. Another win, 32 red. Fantastic. So we'll stay on even for 10. We're up $320. That is awesome. And here we go. Let's see how this one finishes up, and then we'll get to that new one of the day. That's an 8 black, and that's a win. So we're having a nice run here. We'll just rebet that and spin again on even for 10. See how many even numbers we can win in a row. But we finally ended there with a 15 black. So we're going to go 10 to 30 and move, and we'll have a $30 bet on red. Okay. That's a 16 red. That's a good one. So we stay on red, but go back to 10, and we're up $350. And let's see if we can get more red numbers here. That's a 26 black. That's a loss. So we'll go left to right and go up 2 units. So we'll go from 10 to 30 and spin. Okay, that's a 33 black. Nice win there. And we'll go back to 10, and we're up $370. And we have a $10 bet on black. Let's see what we get on this one. Nice win there, 22 black. Okay, we're up $380. Let's see if we can get to $400 profit here in the last few minutes. That's a 9 red. That's a loss. So we'll move left to right and go 10 to 30 and spin. We need an odd number here. And we got it. That's a 1 red. So we'll stay on odd and go back to 10. Now we're up $400. That didn't take long. And let's see if we can get some more odd numbers here. That's a 32 red. That's a loss. So we will go left to right and go up 2 units. Now we need a high number. We're betting on 19 to 36. And we lost. That's a 3 red. But now we're going to move over to the 1 to 18 and go from 30 to 50. And we have a $50 bet right there. Let's see if we get a win or a loss here. That's a loss, 28 black. Okay, so we'll go 50 to 70, and that dropped our profits to 310, but still doing really well. Let's see what we get here. That's a 10 black. That's a good win, and we're up 380. That's close enough, so we're going to go ahead and bet even for 10. Again, if you take little losses with this one, it's perfectly fine, as long as it's not something huge. That's a 33 black, and we lost. So we'll go 10 to 30. We're up $370. We'll be back to $400 profit in no time. It's not worth you're losing your bankroll over something like that. So that's a loss. We'll go 30 to 50. Now we'll have a $50 bet on black, and let's see if we can get one right here. We lost again, 18 red. So we're going to go 50 to 70. Let's see where that dropped our profits to. It dropped us to 290, and we'll have a $70 bet on odd. We lost again, 6 black. So now we're on a losing streak. We're going to go to 19 to 36 for $90, and let's spin. Come on, let's get a win with a high number here. And a low number, we lost. So we're going to go 90 to 110. That dropped us all the way down to $130 profit. We need to get a win here. That's a 4 black, and we finally got a win. So we're up $240. We're just going to rebet that and spend. See if we can get another one back to back. That's a 14 red. That's a win, and time just expired. We made $350 profit with the Around the World in 2 today, and hope you enjoyed that one. Now, though, it is time for the new roulette system of the day from Todd Hoover. This is the Baker's Dozen, and I hope you really enjoy it. Let's jump right in and get started. All right, the time is finally here for Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover. He says he hasn't even come close to losing his bankroll on this one. That is super exciting, and let's get started. We're going to leave out the number that hit last, the 14 there, and we're gonna go ahead and place our bets like this, and we're going to be moving them around with this one. We're going to have some rules where you have to have at least 5 in the first and third column, and you have to have at least 1 bet in the second column. But we have to have a $13 total bet. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's see here. We'll pick one right there. And then let's see. How about right there? And let's go to the 36 and the 34. There we go. So we have a $13 bet. Again, you have to have at least $5 in the first and third column. And you have to have at least $1 in the second column, but you can have more than that. So those are the rules. That's a $13 bet. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 12 red. That's a nice $23 win to start. So we're up $23. We're going to place the bets again. So we'll leave out the 12 there. And let's see. So let's place these bets just like this. And then you can place more than one as long as you have at least 5 in those other ones. So let's place a few more of them this time, just like that. So we have a $13 total bet again. Let's go ahead and spin. And if we lose the first one, we're going to keep the bet the same. That's a 16 red. Okay, so we're just going to keep the bet the same again and spin. This is the Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover, and he said he hadn't even come close to losing his bankroll on this one. That's a 34, and we lost. So now all these dollar bets are going to go to $2. So let's go ahead and do that and spin. So we start at 112. And here we go. That's a 32 red. And we got a nice $46 win. We're up $43. And let's see, we're going to make sure that we leave out the 32 street when we do these bets. So let's go ahead and place some bets here. We have to have at least 5 each in the first and third. So let's go ahead and do that. And 13 numbers total. And let's go with those right there and spin. I like that 1720 there in the middle. Let's see if we can hit one of those. That's a 6 black. That's a nice win. And we're up $66. So we are going to leave the 6th street out. So we'll go ahead and let's place some bets just like this. And then let's pick. Well, we just had hit the 32. Let's do the 17 and the 20 again, and then the 2. Okay, but it always has to be a $13 bet. He says you just need to keep moving the bets around, and you need to play by those rules. At least 5 in the first and third, and then that's another nice win there. And then at least 1 in the second column. So we're up $89. And here we go. So we're leaving out that 9th street that just hit. And there's our 5 minimum. So let's go 14, 17, and 20. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go with the Baker's Dozen. That's a 2 black. Okay, we lost that one. So we're going to repeat that bet. If you lose, just play it the exact same way again. That's a 28 black. That's a nice $23 win. We're up $99. So we'll leave out the 28th street here. Let's place some bets. Keep them moving around like Todd Hoover says. And then let's do these three again. I like that 14, 17, 20. So let's stick with that and spin. And here we go. Hey, there we go. 17 black. I knew that one was coming. That's a nice win. We're up $122. We're going to leave out that 17th Street. And now we'll pick some other ones for the additional bets. Let's go ahead and we'll stay with the 14 and the 20, but let's go ahead and let's pick the 35 also to get us to that $13 bet. And here we go. That's a 14 red. There we go. All right, now we're up $145, and I'll make sure to share with you the full progression as we go through. But right now, let's just play it through. I'm sure we'll go up in the progression here. We're leaving out the 14th Street that just hit. This is the Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover, and so now we'll leave the 20 in there. Let's go 20, 23, 26. Okay, let's spin. But you just have to have one minimum in the second column and 5 minimum in the first and third. That's a 35, and we lost that one. We were betting on that one before. That's okay, though. Let's rebet here, and we leave the bets the same if you lose. That's a 26 black. That's a nice win, and we're up $155. So now we've hit the 14, the 17, and the 26 there. So we're going to leave out the 26th Street. Let's do that. You have to have at least 5 in each. And then we haven't hit the 23, so let's go ahead and pick that one. And then how about the 8 and the 11? Okay, let's go ahead and spin with the Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover. And he says he hasn't even ever come close to losing his bankroll on this one. That's exciting. So let's see if that happens with us today. That's another win. We are currently up $178. So let's go ahead and place those next bets. Oops, shouldn't have put one there. Here we go. Or there, unless we want to put another one on the 14. Okay, so let's see. Let's pick something that hasn't hit in the second column in a while. Let's stick with that 8 and then the 5. And let's go with the 11. Okay, let's go ahead and spin and see what we get here. That's a 26 black. And we had just hit that one recently, but that's okay. Let's just rebet and spin. And I'll share with you the rest of this progression. We're going to bet the same thing again here. That's a 3 red. We lost that one, so now all those dollar bets are going to go to $2, but we're not doubling. And here we go. That's a 12 red. We lost again. So now we're going to go to $3 on all these bets. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 10 black. We lost again. So now all these bets are going to go to $5, so we're going to add 2 to each. Okay, that's a $65 total bet, but no problem there. We have plenty of bankroll. That's a 15 black. There we go. That's a nice $115 win. Now we're up $202, and we're going to leave out that 15th Street that just hit. And he says he loves keeping things moving around. So let's keep that going, and let's stick with that 8 and 11 that haven't hit yet. And then also, how about let's go with the 5. Okay, let's go ahead and spin and see what we get here. That's a 19 red. We lost that, so let's repeat that bet at the same $1 amount. That's a 24 black. That's a nice win, and we're up $212. So let's go ahead and we'll leave out that 24th Street that just hit. Okay, so we still haven't hit that 5, 8, or 11. Let's go for those again and spin. I think all the other ones in that column have hit already. Here we go. Look at that. That's a 5 red. It's a nice $23 win. We're up $235. Let's leave out that 5 street that just hit. And this time we're just going to put one number in the second column. You only have to have a minimum of 1 there, a minimum of 5 in the other 2. So this time we're just going to bet on the 11, which hasn't hit in a while. So let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's a 7 red. That's a nice win. We're up 258. Now we'll leave out the 7. We're going to keep moving stuff around, just like Todd Hoover says. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and we'll bet on that 11 again. It still hasn't hit. And let's see if we can get it to hit. That's a 4 black. That's a nice win. We're up 281. And let's leave out the 4 street that just hit. Here we go. And then we'll try that 11 again. I know it hasn't hit in a long time. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, it came close. That's a 26 black, though. And we lost, so we'll just repeat that bet. And everything's still at $1. So after you lose once, you just stay at $1. That's a 36 red. And we lost, so we'll take all those dollar bets and move them to $2. And spin. That's a 27 red. That's a nice win. We're up $301 with dollar bets. That's insane. Okay, so he said this one was unbelievable. Let's we haven't come anywhere close to losing our bankroll like he said so far. And we still haven't hit that 11, so let's go ahead and do that. Again, the rules are you have to have at least 5 in the first and third column, and you have to have at least 1 in the second column. And that's a 28. That's a $23 win. We're up $324. So we're going to keep moving them around. We'll leave out the street that hit last. Okay, and then let's see here. And we'll go for that 11, which still hasn't hit. All right, here we go. That's a 19 red. Another win. That's a $347 in profit right now. Wow. And let's see. We'll leave out that 19 that just hit. Okay, and we'll do our minimum 5 this time. And this time we're going to do the 11, which hasn't hit, the 8, which hasn't hit, once I fix that one. And then I think all the rest of them have actually already hit. But let's go ahead and do the 32. Let's go ahead and spin and see what we get here. That's a 7 red. We lost, so we'll just repeat that bet. And spin. All right, that's a 27 red. We lost again, so now all the dollar bets are going to go to 2. Let's go ahead and spin again here. All the $1 bets just now went to 2. So we went 1, 1, 2, and that's a 6 black. That's a $46 win. We're up $367. We'll leave out the 6th street now. So you guys already know the first and second bets are the same. And then after that, so we're going 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 5, and then 8, and then let's see here. Let's go ahead and go for that 11 again here and spin. And then basically you're just adding up the 2 previous bets for your next bet. But that's another nice win there. We're up $390, and it's really important to keep these bets moving around. But also, most of the time when people use the Fibonacci sequence like this, and this is the original one where you bet the same on the first 2 spins, usually it's just 12 numbers, but we have 13, which gives us a little bit more coverage. But he says it's also important to keep moving these bets around. So let's go ahead and do that. We have our 5 minimum. Let's go 11, 8. Let's try that 32 again. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. That's a 30 red. Another win. We are up $413. And we'll leave out that 30 street that just hit. Okay. Okay, we still haven't hit that 8 or 11. And then let's stick with the 32. Okay, here we go. And he's right. We haven't even come close to losing our bankroll with this one. That's a 26 black. And that's a loss. So we'll just repeat the bet. And this is a $2,000 bankroll system, but you can play with 1,000, he says. But 2,000 is recommended just in case something crazy happens. So let's go ahead and double. But we're not really doubling. We're just going from 1 to 2 because we're adding up the 2 previous bets for your next bet in the Fibonacci sequence. And that's a nice win. And time has expired. So we made $433 profit with the incredible new Baker's Dozen by Todd Hoover. And hope you enjoyed both the systems today. And they both did really well. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments as usual. And after this, if you want to stick around, we're going to have a viral video that's been doing amazing on the channel. And it's coming up next. But if you want to send a system in, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And I love seeing the new systems every day. You guys are awesome. And remember to, if you're enjoying this search for the best roulette system possible each and every day, please like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get to that new viral video that's doing amazing on the channel. If you want to stick around and watch that, that would be awesome. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for another video. This is going viral on YouTube. This is the best system I've seen in a very long time. I think you're going to love it, and let's get started. This is the Roulette Master, and you're not going to believe how amazing this new roulette system is. This was sent in by one of my subscribers, Camila from the Netherlands. I can't believe I didn't think of this before, and I cannot wait to show you how she's making money. And we're going to put her system up against the best today. We're going to put her system up against Randall's system that won the bracket challenge. In a head-to-head matchup, this is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to get started. We'll start with Randall's first. Each will get 15 minutes of playtime. Let's see which one wins, and man, I'm excited about this new one from Camilla. And let's go ahead, and we're going to start with $10 on second column and second 12 with Randall's system that won the bracket challenge. And here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 14 red. And that's a $40 win to start. Fantastic. So you can see we're already up 40. We just rebet and spin. And this system beat so many other good systems in the bracket challenge. It was the champion of it, and that is fantastic. And there's another $10 win. So when you play this way, where you have $10 on second column and $10 on second 12, if you hit either, you win like you just saw. And if you hit both, it is a jackpot. So let's go ahead and rebet and spin again. You can see we're already up $50, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Okay, that is a 34 red. Okay, that's a loss. So now we go up by a unit. Every time you lose with Randall's system, you go up by 1 unit. That's $10 today. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, but you can play this with dollar bets and a $200 bankroll, so anyone can afford to play this. That's a $20 win. So we're up 50. We're just going to go back to the original bet now. So that'll be $20. Let's go ahead and spin. You can achieve session profit by either getting a bunch of partial wins or by getting jackpot numbers. So you want to keep track of your session profit. There's a $10 win right there. We're up 60. Let's rebet and spin. Here we go. Let's see, that is a 6 black, and that's a loss. So we go up by 1 unit, just like we do with every single loss. That dropped us back to 40, and then we increased by 1. Let's see if we can get a win here. That's a 16 red. That's a nice $20 win. Okay, we're back up to 60. Let's rebet and spin. If we get over 60, then we'll reset back to 10. And that's a 2 black. Okay, that's another win, $20 win. Great, we're up 80. That's new session profit, so we go back to 10 each. We fix that bet there. Here we go. And again, if you hit either one, you win. If you hit both, it's a jackpot. And that's a 5 red. Okay, that's a $10 win. So we're up 90 now. Let's just rebet and spin. Let's keep increasing the profits with Randall's system. And sometimes this gets a little bit behind, but it seems to always come back, which is what you want when you have bankroll and patience. And we lost that one, so let's go up a unit again. You can see we're up. That dropped us back to 70 in profit, but that's okay. Here we go again. We just increased by a unit, and that's a 00. So that's another loss. So we increased by another unit. And now we're 30 each, 60 total. We're 3 minutes in out of 15 with Randall's system. And that's a 00. That's another loss. So that's never good when you get back-to-back 00s, but we can handle it. We'll just increase by another unit. Temporarily, it dropped us back to minus 30, but that's okay. Once we get some wins, we'll be right back where we need to be. And that's a 24 black. That's a $40 win. So we're not in session profit, so we just stay right there and spin again. We're 3.5 minutes in out of 15. That is a 13 black. That's another $40 win. Great. We're up 50 now. And we'll spin again at 40 each, 80 total. Here we go. That's a 28 black. That's a loss. So we go up a unit, and then we'll check our balance again. We're at minus 30 right now, but that's okay. All we need is patience and bankroll. We'll hit some jackpots, or we'll get some a bunch of wins with just one win at each time, and that's awesome too. So there's a $50 win. We're up 20, so we'll just rebet at 50 each. We don't go backwards in the progression until we get at or near session profit, and that's a 15 black. Okay, that's a win. So we're up 70. We'll just rebet and spin. And here we go. That's a 2 black. That's another win. We will take it. Another $50 win. We're up 120. So we'll just rebet and spin. We're 4 minutes, 40 seconds in out of 15. And that's a 36 red. That's a loss. So we'll increase by a unit. So now we'll have 60 each, 120 total. Then we'll check our balance again here. Okay, that's an 8 black. Okay, that's a $60 win. We'll take that. It gets us back up to 80. Let's spin again, and I'd love to see one of those jackpot numbers coming up here. Let's see if we can get one. That's a 28 black. That's another loss. Let's increase. 70 each, 140 total. We're currently minus 40, but all it's going to take is either a jackpot or a few partial wins, and we'll be back in business. That's a 19 red. That's a nice $70 win, so we're back in profit. We'll just rebet and spin, but we're not in session profit, so we stay the same. We don't go backwards in the progression. That's a 32 red. All right, that's another win. Nice $70 win. We're up 100. Let's spin again. Here we go. Almost 6 minutes in out of 15 with this one. That's another win. 2 black. Fantastic. We're up 170 now. Let's go ahead and restart. Here we go, 10 on each, and we're back in business. Here we go. So you don't have to get jackpots. Sometimes you can just get a bunch of partial wins, and you're good to go. But there's a nice jackpot there, even though we were at base level. We're up 210 now, so that's awesome. If we'd got that on the one before, man, we would have been swimming in cash, but we'll still take it. Doing fantastic with Randall's system, and can't wait to share with you the new system coming up. It looks incredible, and that is a loss, so we'll increase by a unit and spin. Here we go. It's a 31 black. Okay, that's a loss, so we'll increase again and we're up 150 now after we drop back after that loss. We're almost 7 minutes in out of 15 with Randall's system that won the bracket challenge. That's a 13 black. We'll take that $30 win. We're back up 180. We'll rebet and spin at 30 each, 60 total. Here we go. It's a 32 red. Okay, that's a nice $30 win. We're up 210. We'll rebet and spin here. And here we go. That's a 26 black. All right, that's another win. So we're up 240. We'll reset back to 10. Like I was saying, you don't have to get jackpots. All you have to do is get somewhat close to session profit. And sometimes you can do that by getting a bunch of partial wins like we just did. And that's a 23 red. And that's a jackpot. That's a $40 win. Now we're up 280. And that's awesome. So let's go ahead and spin. And the 2 times we've had jackpots, we've been at base level. But once we hit one of those when the bets are higher, it's going to be awesome. And but still doing fantastic. Let's increase by 1. Okay, that dropped us back to 260 profit, but still incredible. We're 8 minutes in out of 15 with Randall's system, and that's a 22 black. All right, that's a $20 win. Fantastic. We're up 280. And let's spin again. Here we go. Okay, that's a 27 red. That's a loss. So again, anytime you lose, it's real simple. You just increase by 1 unit. That dropped us back temporarily to 240 profit, but still really good. And here we go. It's 11 black. Okay, there's a nice partial win at 30. We're up 270, and let's just rebet and spin. Here we go. Okay, it's a 33 black. That's a loss, so let's increase by a unit. From 30 to 40, we're up 210 right now, and let's go ahead and spin. We're 9 minutes in out of 15. That's a 14 red. Ooh, that's a nice jackpot, $160. We're up 370 now. We restart. That was awesome. And that's the first time we've hit a jackpot when we weren't on the base level. And that was a lot of fun. There's another 0, though. We've had 3 of those now. Or actually 4, I think. I can't remember. But let's go ahead and increase by 1 on each. Now we'll go from 10 to 20. That's a $40 total bet. And here we go. We're 9.5 minutes in out of 15. That's a 24 black. It's a nice partial win. We're up 370 and kicking some serious butt with this one. Here we go. That's a 7 red. That's a loss, so let's increase by a unit like we always do when we lose. And we're up 330. Let's go ahead and spin here. $60 total bet, 30 each. That's a 23 red. That's a good one. That's a $120 win. Look at that. We're up $450 now. Incredible. And we're only 10 minutes and 10 seconds in out of 15. Still a ways to go here. And that's a 19 red. All right, that's a $10 win. We're up 460. Let's go ahead and spin again. Here we go. That's a 20 black. That's a really good one. It's a $40 win. We're up 500 now. Man, that's incredible. Okay, 10 each, 20 total. Still at base level. Here we go. Okay, that's a 4 black. That's a loss, so let's increase like we do. Anytime we get a loss, we go up 1 unit. And we have 20 each, 40 total. Now, here we go. Another 0. We've had a bunch of those, but that's okay. We just go up a unit. So 30 each, 60 total. Then we'll check our balance again after this one. We're 11 minutes in out of 15. That's a 16 red. It's a nice partial win at 30. We're at 470, and we'll just rebet and spin. Remember, we were at 500. Let's see if we can get close to that before resetting. That's a 6 black. And that's a loss, so let's go ahead and go up a unit. From 30 to 40, now we have an $80 total bet. We're 11.5 minutes in. It's a 31 black. Okay, that's another loss. So we're finally going on a little bit of a losing streak here. And that's okay. That's why we have the bankroll. Again, you can use a $2,000 bankroll for $10 units or a $200 bankroll for dollar units, whatever fits your budget. And see, now we're getting some consecutive losses. This is good for you to see how we're going to respond to this. Okay, and we're at 60 each, 120 total, 12 minutes in out of 15. That's a 14 red. That's a $240 win. So we're back up 470. We start over. So you can either get a jackpot or you can get a decent amount of partial wins. Either way, it'll do the trick, and that's a 22 black. That's a nice $10 win. We're at 480, and let's rebet and spin. And I know we weren't quite at 500, but we were pretty close, so that's a good time to reset when you're high up in the bets. And it doesn't do any good to try to push it. We're at 490. Let's go ahead and spin again. Protecting your bankroll is always the number one most important thing when you're playing. And that's a 24 black. That's another nice win. So we got it back up to 500 anyway, even though we were a little bit short after that last jackpot win. But it's always smart to reset when you're close to session profit. And we're 13 minutes in out of 15. That's another win. We're up 510. All right, let's spin again. Here we go. 10 each, 20 total. That's a 36 red. Okay, that's a loss, so we'll increase by a unit like we always do. Then we'll check our balance after this one. We're at 20 each, 40 total. 13 minutes, 20 seconds in. That's a 27 red. That's a loss, so let's go ahead and increase again. Okay, we're at 30 each, 60 total now. 30 seconds left. I'm sorry, a minute and a half left, not 30 seconds. So we're 13 and a half minutes in. That's a 22 black. That's a $30 win. We're up 480, and we'll just rebet and spin. And here we go. It's a 26 black. All right, that's another win. And that's another example of being able to reset without hitting a jackpot. We're back up over 500. We're 14 minutes in out of 15. And that's a 3 red. That's a loss, so we'll increase by a unit like we always do when we lose. And we're at 20 each, 40 total. Man, we're just really doing fantastic with Randall's system. It almost always does really well. And there's a loss there, though. Let's go ahead and increase. And 30 each, 60 total is the bet now. 30 seconds left. That's a 7 red. It's another loss, so we'll increase again. All right, 40 each, 80 total now. Here we go. Looked like it was going to hit 0 there again, but that's a 9 red. Either way, we lost, so let's increase again. Now we're at 50 each, 100 total. Let's see if we get the win. Okay, it's a 31 black. Okay, so we lost 100 there. That dropped us back to 210. And let's increase by another unit. We're at 60 each, 120 total. That's a 22 black. Okay, that's a partial win for 60. And we just ran out of time. So we won $270 with Randall's system that won the bracket challenge. But now this new amazing system I'm about to share with you, you're going to absolutely love it. And I can't wait to see how it does up against this one. This is best on best, and I can't wait to see what the results are. So let's just jump right into it and get started. Remember to share your results in the comments with both these systems. That helps everyone in the community out. All right, let's get right to it. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for Camila's system from the Netherlands. I can't wait to share this with you. This is going to be a follow the leader Fibonacci modified system that I think you're going to absolutely love. Let's go ahead and get started. Place the bets, and here we go. We're going to start on black, follow the leader on colors, and let's go ahead and spin. This is going to be a little bit different progression than you're used to, and I think it looks awesome, so I can't wait to see how it does. If you win, you stay at 10, and we'll stay on black. And but there's a lot to this, so make sure you stick around. But it's real simple once you get the hang of it. So real simple. So that's a 23 red. Okay, so we lost. We're going to go from 10 to 20, and we're going to go to red. And this is going to be the Fibonacci sequence modified, which means going up, the two previous bets are going to get you your next bet. For instance, we bet 10 and 20. Our next bet's going to be 30. We're going to add those two together, and we're going to switch to black, follow the leader on color. But there's more to it than that. Wait till you see what happens next. That's a 1 red. Okay, that's a loss. So we go add the two previous up, which is 30 plus 20. Now we're going to have a $50 bet on red. But we're not going to restart when we get the win. And you're going to see what happens next here in a second. That's a 26 black. And we're starting out really rough with this, but that's okay. It's early. And we're going to take 50 plus 30. Now we're going to have an $80 bet on black. We're minus 100. It's a $2,000 bankroll system. You can also use a $200 bankroll and dollar units on this one as well. And that's a 25 red. Okay, so starting out really rough, but that's okay. We're going to add 80 plus 50. And that's a 130 total bet on red. Follow the winner. And here in a second, you're going to see what the difference is between this and normal Fibonacci. And that's a 20 black. But we've lost pretty much every single bet. So now we're going to take 130 plus 80 for 210 on black. And we're minus 310. But don't worry about that. We'll be just fine. This is about the worst luck you could possibly have. And things are going to turn our way here soon. Okay, there we go. We won at 210. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in reverse, and we're going to go back to the previous bet before 210, which was 130, and we're going to be on black, follow the leader. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And that's a 36 red. And we lost, so we go back up to 210 where we were before. Again, real easy on this to figure out the bets though, because it's always the two previous, and then you just go in reverse when you start getting wins. We're going to go ahead and spin here, and here we go. But man, we've had so many losses, but you know what? When we went with this, you're going to say, man, worst luck ever, and we still won, I hope. So let's find out. We're going to add 210 plus 130. That's 310 plus 30. That's 340 on black. Okay. And very rarely do you start out this poorly where you lose pretty much every bet. So I still think we can turn this around, and I can't wait to share it with you. And that's a 28 black. We finally got a win. Okay, we got that at 340. So now we go backwards where we were before. Remember, before we added the 130 plus the 80 for 210. So now we'll be 210 on black. Okay. All right. And just even as bad as we've been doing, I think we're going to turn this around in a hurry. And that's a 28 black. Fantastic. So now we go in reverse again. We go from 210 to 130, and we're still on black. And you're not going to believe this, but we're already in profit. We're up $110 already, even after losing all those bets. We've only won a couple times, and we're up. Okay, so we lost that one. We're going to switch to red. We're going to go from 130 back to 210. Okay, here we go. 210 on red. And then we got it. Fantastic. So now we're going to go in reverse from 210 back to the one previous. Remember, we added the 130 plus the 80 to get to 210. We're going to go in reverse back to 130, and we'll be on red. And we're up $190 even with almost all losses, which is incredible. And that's a 16 red. Okay, we won at 130. So now we go in reverse again. And remember, to get to 130, what we did, remember we went up 10, 20, 30, and then we added 30 plus 20 to get to 50, and then we added 50 plus 30 to get to 80. You can see on that last bet there, we were at 130. Now we're going to go back to 80. Okay? And we're still on red. We're playing follow the winner on color. And let's work our way back down. Here we go. That's a 21 red. Fantastic. Okay, we are up $400 already, even after that horrible start. Now we're going to go in reverse again from 80 back to 50, and we'll be on red. And All you need on this is to be patient till you get a color streak and the $2,000 bankroll for $10 units or $200 bankroll for dollar units. We won at 50, so guess what? Now we go back to 30, the way we came up. Okay, we're at $450 now. Here we go. And that's a 13 black. That's a loss. So we go back up in the Fibonacci sequence. We were at 30. We had 30 plus 20, and we go back to 50 on black. Follow the winner on color. All right, we're at $420 after about the worst start you can imagine. That's a 25 red, and that's a loss. So we add 50 plus 30, $80 for our next bet on red. Follow the winner. And let's spin. Here we go. There we go, 12 red. So we stay on red, follow the winner. We go backwards from 80 to 50, and we'll be on red. We're up $450. The profits just keep coming. And let's see if we hit another red. And we do. That's a 19 red. Fantastic. So now we go backwards from 50 to 30, and we'll be on red again. We are up $500 already after the worst start you can imagine. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. And that's a 5 red. Okay, now we're going to go from 30 back to 20. We'll still be on red. We're up $530. Incredible. And that's another win. That's a 1 red. And we're going to go now from 20 all the way back to where we started, back to 10. We're up $550. Let's go ahead and spin. And man, we were patient. We had the bankroll, and things came back around for us. Now, if you're playing without a time limit, this is when you want to cash out. When you work your way back to 10, you can see we're up $560. But today we're going to play for the full 15 minutes, so you see a large sample size. We're going to be on red for 10. Let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to keep going with this one. Let's see what else happens in the rest of this 15 minutes. We're 8 minutes in right now. And that's a win there with a $10 win on red. So we'll just stay on red. We're up $570, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. My goodness, that's a lot of red numbers. We'll take it. Okay, we're up $580. We'll just rebet and spin at 10. And you make a lot of your money when actually you have losses and then work your way back. And okay, now we're going to switch to black, and we'll go from 10 to 20. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a win. So we go from 20 back to 10, and we stay on black. We are currently up $590, and we're 8 minutes, 42 seconds in. That's a 5 red. That's a loss. So we go from 10 up to 20, and we switch to red. Let's go ahead and spin again here. We're 9 minutes in out of 15, and that's a 23 red. That's a win. Okay, so we go from 20 back to 10, and we'll be on red. We are up $600 now. The profits just keep on coming. This is absolutely incredible. It's a 19 red. That's another win. We'll take it. And another $10 bet on red. We're up $610. Here we go. That's a 28 black. That's a loss. We go from 10 to 20, and we'll go to black. Here we go again. Let's spin. We're 9.5 minutes in out of 15. That's a 26 black, so we go back from 20 back to 10, and we'll stay on black. Now we're up $620. Let's go ahead and spin again here. Here we go. That's a 0, so that's a loss. We're going to go up on the bets, but we'll stay on black. So if you hit 0, you just stay on there, but you go up in the Fibonacci sequence. And here we go again. That's a 16 red. We lost. So we go from 20. We had 20 plus 10 for 30. And we go to red. Follow the leader on colors. Follow the winner or leader, whatever you like to say. And that's a 23 red. That's a good one. So we go from 30 back to 20, and we'll be on red. We're up $620. Wow. 10.5 minutes in out of 15. That's That's a 14 red. That's a win. We'll take it. Okay, we'll go back to 10 on red. We're up $640. The profits just keep increasing. I can't wait to see where we get in the next 3.5 minutes here. And that's a 36 red. That's another win. So we just stay on red for 10. We're up $650. Let's go ahead and spin again here. Here we go. That's a loss, 6 black. So we go from 10 to 20 and switch to black. All right, let's go ahead and spin with $20 on black here. And we got the win, so we go back to 10 and we stay on black. Okay, we're up $660. Let's spin again here. So we go and we add up the 2 previous bets for the next bet going up, and then going back down, we just go back down the same way we came up. So we stay at 10 on black. We're up $670. Let's go ahead and spin again here. We're 11.5 minutes in out of 15, and that's a 27 red. It's a loss. We'll go from 10 to 20 and switch to red. Follow the winner on color. And here we go. That's a 30 red. Fantastic. So we'll go from 20 back to 10 and stay on red. We are up $680. Next thing you know, we'll be up 7. If we keep going here, we're 12 minutes in out of 15. That's a 24 black. And that's a loss. We'll go from 10 to 20 and go to black. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a win here on black. And we did. That's a 15 black. So we go back to 10. And we're on black for 10. We're up $690. You can just see those profits continually increase. And here we go. That's a 10 black. So we won again. And we'll take it. That's the second 10 we've seen in a while, so we'll leave that $10 bet on black. Then we'll check our balance after this one. Here we go. And that's another win, 17 black. Okay, and we're up $710 now. Wow. That is awesome. Continuing to grow. Here we go. That's another win, 6 black. Fantastic. We're up $720. The profits just keep growing. And we're 13 minutes in out of 15. That's a 2 black. That's another win. So we'll stay right there. We're up $730 now. Incredible. Let's spin again here. About just under 2 minutes left. And that's a 30 red. We lost. So we switch to red and go from 10 to 20. Okay, we're up $720 right now. And let's spin. Here we go. That's a 12 red. That's a win. So we go from 20 back to 10. We'll stay on red. We're up $740. Wow. Such a short time. We're only 13 minutes, 30 seconds in. That's a 22 black. That's a loss, so we'll switch to black and go from 10 to 20. Here we go. That's a 1 red, so we lost, so we switch back to red. And we add up 10 plus 20 to get to a $30 bet on red. Follow the winner on color. That's a 15 black. So now we're getting some losses again. We're going to add 30 plus 20 for our $50 bet on black. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. And we got the win. So we go backwards now. We go from 50 back to 30 and we stay on black. Okay, we're up $730. Incredible. Here we go. That's a 5 red. We lost, so we go back up from 30. You add 30 plus 20 to get to 50, and we'll be on red for 50. Here we go. Okay, that's 11 black. And that's a loss, so we had 50 plus 30. Now we'll have an $80 bet on black. Here we go. Then we'll check our balance after this one. That's a win on 4 black, and we just ran out of time. So we made $730 profit after probably the worst start you've ever seen. This is an amazing roulette system. I cannot wait for you guys to test this out. You can use Roulette Royale, whatever you want to use, but test it out and share your results in the comments. Everyone is going to want to know. You share with them, they'll share with you. Let's help each other out. And I want to see a large sample size of how everybody does with this one because it looks absolutely incredible. Both systems today knocked it out of the park. And I hope you really enjoyed today's video. Remember to send your systems in to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. Every single day of the week, 365 days a year, we test one of your guys' systems on the channel at 7 a.m. Central Time. If you send it in, there's a really good chance it'll be on here, and I can't wait to see your system. So please send it in. Again, that's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. Hope you really enjoyed this one and test it out. Share your results in the comments. I can't wait. Thank you guys. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day.